What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today. We're talking about our top 20 quarterbacks here for the weekend games of Week 8 fantasy football. And there's a few of you guys out there that may be looking for a bye week fill-in, right? Maybe you had Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and you need another option here this week. We got you covered. Don't worry about it. Just a quick reminder, though. These are just a quick run-through of our rankings. If you're looking for more detailed information, that can be found on the start-sit video, so make sure you check that one out after this video if you haven't already, but we're not wasting any more time. We're getting into the top 20. We're going to start it off right now with number 20. And that's going to be Nick Foles, Chicago Bears. Now, I don't love Nick Foles, but he's been safe-ish, I guess you could say, averaging right around 14 to 15 fantasy points per game. His ceiling's been pretty limited all year long, and there's still question marks surrounding Allen Robinson and his health. However, in a matchup against New Orleans, he may be forced to throw all 4 quarters. Got him right here, number 20. Number 19, Phillip Rivers of the Indianapolis Colts coming off his bye week in a great matchup going up against the Detroit Lions. The problem with Phillip Rivers, he hasn't really shown much consistency all year long. Had a great week before the bye, but that's the best game he's had so far this season. Looking for a little bit of the same, right? A safe 15-point game or so from Phillip Rivers. Got him at number 19. Number 18, Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints still no Michael Thomas, right? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? I mean, it's still up in the air for sure, and that really caps his ceiling. Plus, this is a very difficult matchup against one of the top defenses in the NFL, the Chicago Bears. I'm limiting expectations on Drew Brees. Got him down at 18. Number 17, Matthew Stafford, Detroit Lions. He's got a matchup going up against a difficult team in the Indianapolis Colts coming off their bye week where they had another week to prep for this. Plus, Matthew Stafford has just really failed to go out there and show a higher touchdown upside on a weekly basis. Going out there and throwing for 1 touchdown a week just isn't going to cut it in a difficult matchup. Got Matthew Stafford, 17. 16, Jimmy Garoppolo. I actually like Jimmy G this week. I think he has a solid floor here in Week 8. I really wish he had Deebo Samuel. That would be one added weapon that he could really utilize both in the running game out of the backfield and spread out wide to really raise that ceiling. Deebo is a playmaker, and without it, they're really going to have to rely on Brandon Ayuk. Got him dropped down right here to 16, even though I don't hate the matchup going up against Seattle. Number 15, Jared Goff, Los Angeles Rams, going up against the Miami Dolphins. They're not a pushover in Miami anymore, and Jared Goff still has weapons to throw to. He's been safe-ish for the most part this season, just really fails to go out there and put up those high-ceiling games. He's a solid low-end quarterback 1, high-end quarterback 2 on a weekly basis, just like this week. Got him at 15. Number 14, Big Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh Steelers, a difficult matchup going up against the Baltimore Ravens, but Big Ben likes to play against the Ravens. This is always one of those interdivisional matchups that people love to watch. Plus, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, James Conner, Chase Claypool. They have plenty of options at his disposal to put up a solid fantasy game once again. Got him at 14. 13 is going to be Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns, with a great matchup going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I mentioned this in my start-sit video. Is Baker Mayfield better without Odell Beckham? Because he's not force-feeding targets to Odell. He's actually spreading the ball throughout the entire field, and it's making him a better quarterback. Something to pay attention to. Love the matchup. Got him at 13. Number 12, Derek Carr, his opponent in this game. And this is a great matchup for Derek Carr, and he just continues to be underrated. He's averaging almost 20 fantasy points per game, and yet no one really wants to ever talk about Derek Carr. He's quietly having a really good year, and I expect a good week this week. Got Derek Carr at 12. Number 11, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings, going up against the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, we saw a shootout week 1 between these two teams. The biggest difference this week, Justin Jefferson is a lot more active in this passing game, which I believe will raise the ceiling of Kirk Cousins in a great matchup. Got him at number 11. Number 10, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, going up against the New England Patriots. Now, word's coming out that Stephon Gilmore a little bit banged up. What is his status for this week? And that's something to pay attention to. And having no Stephon Gilmore would definitely help out Josh Allen. He's just been inconsistent as of late, right? He just seems a little bit off. And maybe, just maybe, it's because the competition is a little bit stiffer now than it was to start the season. Tempering expectations. Got Josh Allen, number 10. Number 9, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing Monday Night Football against the New York Football Giants. No, there's no Antonio Brown, and no, there's no Chris Godwin this week, but that's okay. He still has Mike Evans, Gronk, and a backfield full of Rojo and Leonard Fournette to go out there and put up solid fantasy numbers once again. I do expect them to get a lead and rely more on the run second half of this ballgame. That's why I think the ceiling is a little bit capped for Tom Brady, but he's still a surefire quarterback 1. Got him at number 9. Number 8, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, going up against the Tennessee Titans. So a good matchup for Joe Burrow, who just continues to throw the ball a lot. Doesn't look like we may have Joe Mixon again, which means even more in the passing game. Look for Joe Burrow to have a great game this week. Got him at quarterback 8. Number 7, Lamar Jackson. What we really need from Lamar is for him to continue to use his feet. That's what really put him over the top last year, and his week before the bye was his first game with over 100 yards rushing. He needs to get that going again because it's a very difficult matchup going up against Pittsburgh, where he may be once again limited in the passing game. No, there will not be a Dez Bryant sighting in Baltimore. He's going to be one of those guys who's just going to be dependent still on his legs. Got Lamar Jackson, number 7. Number 6, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. And yeah, everybody wants to talk about rookie quarterback Joe Burrow, but this rookie in Justin Herbert is the real deal, and he continues to put up huge fantasy numbers in a matchup this week. Going up against the Denver Broncos, Justin Herbert continues to involve receivers that you've probably never even heard of. If he can really continue to get on the same page with Mike Williams, watch out, big games are coming. Got Justin Herbert, number 6. Number 5, Ryan Tannehill going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Tannehill is just another one of these consistent, solid quarterbacks, right? Yeah, A.J. Brown hasn't practiced, but I'm pretty sure he'll be out there on Sunday. And if he is, he's going to have options at his disposal with Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, and a backfield full of Derrick Henry. Love Ryan Tannehill once again. Got him at number 5. Number 4, Carson Wentz. This one is simple. He's playing Dallas, and Dallas sucks. Carson Wentz is still putting up some great fantasy numbers despite having a banged-up wide receiver group once again this year. Do we see a Jalen Reagor sighting? Travis Fulgham is all of a sudden a fantasy darling to so many people, and Carson Wentz is the benefactor of it. Another good week coming for Carson Wentz. Got him at 4. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Why is Patrick Mahomes not number 1 for me? They're playing the Jets, and if I had to guess, Patrick Mahomes goes out with the Chiefs, puts up an early lead, and then we see a whole lot of Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell in a revenge game against his old team, and in my opinion, that lowers the ceiling slightly for Patrick Mahomes. Still a great start, just may not need to throw all 4 quarters to put up huge numbers. Got him at number 3. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who he torched in Week 1. I saw an interview earlier in the week with Aaron Rodgers when he was on the Pat McAfee show, saying that he went up to Davante Adams when they knew that Aaron Jones wasn't going to be there, and that he expected, Davante to step it up. He did, and I expect it to be the same because Aaron Jones still doubtful to play. Do we see a huge game once again from Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota? I think we do. Got him at number 2. That leaves number 1, Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks, going up against the San Francisco 49ers. A lot easier to throw against San Francisco than it is to run on San Francisco, which is perfect because Russell Wilson is loving to throw the ball this year to Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Also, backfield is banged up, right? No Chris Carson, possibly no Carlos Hyde that much. That leaves a lot of DJ Dallas, which we could be looking at. A whole lot of pass attempts for Russell Wilson here. Week 8, he's going to be my number 1 quarterback there this week. All right, so that's a quick rundown of my top 20 quarterbacks here for Week 8 fantasy football. And I feel like I say this at the end of every episode here when we talk about rankings, but people get so butthurt over rankings, and I really don't understand why. We're not supposed to agree. If we always agreed, there'd be no purpose in watching other people's videos. Remember, this is all about gaining a different perspective from maybe what you see things as. Doesn't mean I'm wrong, doesn't mean you're wrong. It means together, combined, when we see both sides of the story, we come up with the best possible solutions for our fantasy football lineups. That's what it's all about. But we greatly appreciate the support. If you can do me a favor, hit that like button down below and consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. Why haven't you? This is all things fantasy football all year long, and we greatly appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys had a great week. A fun, happy Halloween show coming on Saturday night. Make sure you tune into that. Maybe we'll be in costumes. Have to wait and find out. Tune in for yourself and ask us any fantasy football questions that you may have. We look forward to talking to you then. Have a good one. Thanks.